If you are dating with the intention of marriage, you cannot miss out on implementing this into your relationship, not just to get the ring, but also to get a loving and devoted husband whose main intention is to protect and provide for you. When you implement this, you are going to spark his innate desire to protect you, to provide for you. So if you want to know how to get this and what to do next, then stick around because it's all coming up right now. Hi, welcome back to the Vibration Vault. My name is Alia Zure. I help women all over the world navigate their love life in a more feminine way. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, make sure to subscribe to stick around. Okay, let's begin. So first things first is turning dating into marriage. Let me give you an example. Let's say you've been dating a man for a really long time and you are just desperate for him to propose to you. Everyone else around you is getting married and having babies, and you want all of that too, and you want that with him. You could use option one and you could go into your masculine energy and you could say, I need to know when you are going to marry me. I need to know if you are going to marry me. You have to propose to me soon, otherwise I won't stay in this relationship much longer. I'm a high value woman. I have no time to waste. But when you say this, I'm just going to be really honest, you sound very desperate. He's no longer going to see you as the prize. Your self-respect, your standards, your boundaries are on the floor. You are just completely obsessed and desperate for this title of marriage that you're losing sight of the fact that in fact, he should be the one who is obsessed with you. He should be the one who's obsessed with not just you, but the idea of you being his wife. A woman in her feminine energy knows that she is a high value woman. She doesn't need to announce it and say it for it to be known. She doesn't need to demand marriage in order to have a man on his knees begging to be in with a chance of marrying her. So instead, you would use option two and you would go into your feminine energy and you would say, it's always been important to me in a relationship for our goals and values to align. You see, I think a lot of women nowadays just want to be married. They just want the ring. But for me, there are conditions that a man has to meet in order to be in with a chance of being fit to be my husband. Now, these conditions can be anything. It can be a combination of things. Let me give you an example of some. So, a condition for a man to qualify to be your husband could be that he buys you a house. This could be a house that you will both live in together, or it could be that he has a certain financial goal that he has to meet in order to be able to provide for you. Or it could be another type of financial goal where you want this perfect and amazing dream wedding that's going to cost a certain amount. Or you might want this dream ring that he has to be able to afford and give to you before you can consider him to be your husband. Now, bear in mind, you can tailor these conditions to be tailored towards the things that you desire and you need to feel safe in order for you to fully commit in a marriage to this man. It doesn't have to be financial things. However, if you are looking for a provider man, it's always worth having him make that investment into you to see how serious he is about you and to make sure that you are protected and provided for. The reason why this is so important is because women today are so focused on getting the ring. All they want to do is be married. It's like what they're doing is just ticking off a checklist. Marriage is not the finishing line. Marriage is the starting line. When you state simply and calmly that there are conditions that he has to meet in order to be in with a chance of being your husband and you make him work to earn that title, then now he is going to see you as the prize in his eyes because he has had to work harder to get you. A lot of women lose their power throughout this process because they end up begging for the ring. They give ultimatums for marriage. If you don't marry me, I will leave. Or they beg for the ring and they're crying and they are desperate. So when they do finally get the ring from their partner, then they're concerned as to why they don't have a loving and devoted husband because they haven't made him work to earn that title. All they have done is just begged to be a wife. A man has to want to be a husband in order for him to be a great partner to you in marriage. It's not enough for you to want to be a wife to a man who has not earned the privilege to be your husband. And once you get him working for that title, he will continue to work to keep that title because he has shown you he is not shy of hard work. The second thing that you need to consider not doing if you are looking to get the ring and also get a loving and devoted husband is to stop oversharing, especially when it will not be received well. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are out for lunch and you are with a group of his friends. Everyone's laughing, everyone's having an amazing time. You could use option 1 and you could go into your masculine energy and you could start telling his friends about the time where you sent him out to go and get some dishwasher tablets and he ended up coming home with these laundry detergent tablets instead. In your head, it's just a joke and it's just the truth and you were only sharing it because, well, you thought it was funny. However, what you're really doing is just talking about how incapable he is. You need to remember that the people who love him, who are the closest to him, will always be very protective of him, which means that they will always have all eyes on you. They are always going to be assessing whether or not you will be a good partner for him. So when you tell a story like that, which is embarrassing and it undermines him and paints him in this incapable light, now people are subconsciously, his friends or his family, are going to subconsciously start to wonder what you are saying when he is not present. Will you protect his name? Will you stand by him? And that then sparks the next question of, are you going to be a good teammate to him? Are you going to be a good partner for him? Remember, no matter how close you get to his friends or how close you get to his family, you will always be an outsider. Their loyalties are always going to lie with him. So instead, you would use option 2 and you would go into your feminine energy and you would say, he really is the most interesting person I've ever met. You know, I'm learning so much from him day by day and I'm so lucky to be around him. And also, there's just never a dull moment when he's around. Don't you think so? Now, when you say this to the people that he loves the most, they are going to love you because they can tell that you see him through the same lens that they see him. Now you will have got their approval. Now they will start to love you and they will start to trust you and they will start to see that, yes, in fact, you are the perfect woman for him. When you say this is when the friends or the family members pull him aside in private and say, wow, I can see why you love her. She's great. She's amazing. She says all of these incredible things about you. She is so in love with you. She's the one. She is the one. Believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, we do seek the approval of the people that we love, whether it be friends, whether it be family, when it comes down to deciding who we are going to spend the rest of our lives with, who we are going to marry. So when you take this approach, he's now going to have that desire to love you harder, to protect you, to provide for you. Because now he is certain that you will never embarrass him, that you will always protect his name. And that is going to just create this beautiful and unique bond between the pair of you. The third thing that you need to refrain from doing is sharing your opinion on certain topics. Let me give you an example. Let's say he's just had an argument with his brother. Normally, he's really close with his brother. They're great friends. However, he's complaining about how lazy he is, how he's not pulling his weight, and how he's sick of constantly pulling him out of these depressive type of episodes. You could use option 1 and you could go into your masculine energy and you could start agreeing with him. You could say, yeah, you know what? You need to stop pulling him out of these holes. He is so lazy. You are so right. He needs to fend for himself. I think you should distance yourself from him. And you could agree with everything he's saying. But when you do this, you are going to spark your partner's instinct to protect his family. Now, what you need to realize is it's okay for him to say negative things about his family, but it's not okay for you to say negative things about his family whatsoever. Now, you and I both know that every single family has their own dynamic, and we always argue with the people we are closest to and love the most. So if he's close with his family, it's normal for him to have disagreements with his brother. So instead, you would use option 2 and you would go into your feminine energy and you would say, you know what, darling, it's okay. He's your brother, and I know that deep down you love him. Just be patient with him. I'm sure if you were going through a difficult time, he would be there for you too. I'm really, really proud of you, and I'm always here to listen. When you say this, you are encouraging him to nurture his relationships outside of his relationship with you. You are not isolating him from the people that he loves. A woman in her feminine energy is so attractive because she has the ability to see the positive in even the most negative situations. When he sees that you have this quality and this trait about you, he will always view you as his guiding light. You will be his safe place, his happy place. And now when he sees this quality and trait in you, he is going to think and feel like, wow, I am the lucky one who is going to have the ability, hopefully, to have an opportunity to get to marry this woman and have her as mine forever. So that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know in the comments below if you implement any of these steps into your relationship and let me know how it goes. So until next time, mwah, I love you. Bye.